Hello again, Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, back with the next model from Burning Revelations from Malifaux, the Firestarter. Alright, tanned skin 09044. For a base coat, you just want just enough water to keep the brush wet. And the Firestarter, who I've heard, I think I've read somewhere that the 3rd edition is getting an actual name, but again, I don't have any of the 3rd edition stuff just yet. And he is a pyromaniac supreme on the employ of the Arcanists. And for some reason he has a jetpack. Body and arms covered in bandages and burns. He's really involved in his work. The Arcanists as an organization consider him not a weapon to be controlled, but a weapon to be unleashed. And let him use his particular talents often enough that he is content working for them without doing too much. They don't order. Well, I can start on the hair, and he does have a jetpack. So I'm going to start with Fire Red. Yeah, Fire Red, I think, 09004. Give him bright red hair to match his fiery disposition, or habit of starting fires. When I first saw the artwork for him in 2nd edition, I thought he was a new version of the Neverborn Iggy, but I'll get to Iggy eventually. I don't have him now, though. Okay. I'll let that dry and move on a bit. Okay, well, my equipment will play nice with me. Templar blue, or is it 09056? Wearing kind of a sleeveless jumpsuit and ample harnesses for his jetpack. I know it's a jetpack because not only does he have the flight ability, at least in 3rd edition, but it matches the jetpack of another model that has one, the Captain, who was part of Tony Ironside's box, and I'll be getting to them eventually as well. Just getting a nice solid coat on the shirt and pants, trying not to hit the skin. I'll be doing some things with the shading and highlighting, so. And then Phoenix Red 09005. Give him a shiny red gas can. Firestarter, according to the bio in the second edition book, he sees himself as an artist, just one that works in gasoline and matches. Okay, let that try move on a bit. Alright. Oiled leather, 09110. Had my speakers turned up a bit loud. Alright, getting the boots. And I'm also going to be working on the harness. That big button I'll probably be picking out in bronze or steel. One of the two. Haven't decided just yet, and it doesn't matter which right this second because I will be using both colors on this model. Getting belts, harnesses, straps. Okay. I'd say that's got it pretty good, so let that dry, move on in a bit. Alright. Leather white 09062. Getting there. Of course, to be fair, I'm not in too much of a rush today on this. So, a couple of things here. So he is smoking with a can of gasoline. Bandages over his face. According to the fiction, these are covering up injuries, burns, likely self-inflicted, possibly intentionally. Again, the Firestarter really likes fire. Pretty good. I'll let that go for now. Just a couple of base coats left. Back in a minute. Alright, coming down to it. Tarnished steel 09206. Do the reinforcing bands on the gas can. Though given the time period that Malifaux takes place in, this is more likely kerosene than gasoline. Also have to be cautious not to hit any of the clothing as it's directly underneath him. That should be alright. Then I'm going to do the tanks for the jetpack. And I think this plate it's connected to. That's pretty good. Go ahead and leave that there, dry it, and move on, wrap up in a bit. Okay. 09197 old bronze. Big shiny button. Comes the harness. These toggles at the top. Reinforcement pins here, and the nozzles for the jet exhaust. Okay, well, that's everything on the Firestarter himself. Now, uniform gray. This is an RA paint or Warpaint. And carefully avoiding the bottom of the gas can and boots. Just give the base a nice solid coat. Don't know why I've decided to start whispering all of a sudden. Huh. Okay. Once that's all dry, I can start shading. Alright, shading. I think I'll start with the hair. Blood Red 09003. You want to thin your paint into a wash with 1 part paint to 1 part water. At least in most cases. Just let it flow in and around. And then aged Pewter 09196. And I'll get some buttons and buckles. May have thinned this a bit too much, but it should be alright. Okay, let that dry before moving on. Alright, let's see. Next, Blackened Steel 09205. Just gonna do these one at a time, I think. Get the can. Reinforcement bands, just carefully. Just realized that was probably the single worst angle to show this at. And the canisters for the jetpack. Okay, let that dry and move on in a bit. Okay, Linen White 09061. Getting there. I think I got a little too much going to be okay with what I have planned for the skin tone. I'll put on his cigarette. Okay. Then Fire Red 09004. I'll get the gas can shaded. Okay. Yeah, I need to wait a minute on the leather. Okay. Ruddy leather 09109. So I've never really talked about my release schedule on these videos, but it's based on what I feel like doing and how long I feel like working on these. So on my days off from the day job, which are usually Wednesday, Thursday, I usually get 2 or 3 done then. I also feel like I've need to take a breather and slow down for a bit. So it is kind of random as it's based more off how I feel. There's no shortage of models I have to work with. And that's all the leather. So I was just going to leave the blue, the base, the ground base, and then the skin tone. So back in a minute. Alright, Breonne Blue 09055. Computer's acting up a little bit, so hopefully nothing funky happens while I'm trying to do this. Tapping this in and around. Can loosen up a bit on the pants. Make sure to get that seam where the left elbow is resting. Okay, that's just gonna leave the, you know what? I can go ahead and do the base right now. So, Stormy Gray 09088. And once all this dries up, I can get the skin tone, and hopefully it works out on the model the way it works out in my head. It's always going to be the biggest gap you deal with. Looks like some of the brown might still be a bit wet. Should be okay. This is again this hand sculpting thing I do. To layer a sculpting putty in an appropriate pattern. Okay, yeah, just the skin tone to shade now. Alright, still a little wet, but I think I can work with it. So the last shade is going to be Red Brick 09001. It's going to go directly on the skin. I'm hoping with the tan base coat and the tan highlight that using this as the shade will give a burnt flesh appearance. We'll see. Well, I definitely need to... And I'm recording just as the landscaping crew hired by the HOA is doing their job. Oh well, it's okay. Okay. Well, it's definitely gonna look funny. We'll just see if it ends up looking funny in the right way. So, let's just try it at the moment of truth and see if it works out. Alright, highlight and detail time now. Oh boy, it's getting a little dicey. Matte white. Okay, I need to turn my speaker down. Test, test. Okay. So carefully going to just dot in his eyes. And then let's give that a second to dry. Pure black 09037. And just make sure I'm kind of in focus first. Carefully dotting in pupils. Yep. So tinier pupils will make a character look crazed, and that's exactly what you want on somebody like him. Now, tanned highlight 09045. So it's going to be done using a dry brushing technique. And we'll have a moment of truth here and see if my fiddling around with the shading gives the desired effect. You want a completely dry brush, something ragged and feathered like this, no water. Rub out most of the excess on a paper towel, just like that, and lightly dust the area to be affected. So if you hear thunder, bolts, and lightning, there is a storm coming in. Now the skin definitely looks off. Don't know if I needed to necessarily do it on the arms, but the face I'd say is about what I would have wanted to represent someone who's been burned badly, so we'll call it a mediocre success. Fire Orange 090. You know what? Actually, first, not this one yet. Ghost White 09063 first. I'll get the bandages, then the orange for a specific purpose. Just need to find the right brush for the job. Focusing on the most readily visible surfaces only. Trying to keep my hand out of the camera. Now Fire Orange 09006. Get the kerosene can. And then using the same color, just getting the tip of the cigarette glowing. And now Ashen Blue 09057. So something interesting I learned about cigarette smoking. It was considered kind of a wimpy thing to do up until World War I, when cigarette companies gave free smokes to the American troops going overseas towards the end of that war. So, food for thought. Of course, in the 1920s, where this game is pretty close to approaching that year, smoking's all the rage, so food for thought regarding that. Burnt Orange 09111. Again, focusing on the most readily visible surfaces. Now, yeah, True Silver 09207. Just need to find the right brush for the job. Make sure I'm not dropping thousands of frames a second. Phoenix Red 09005. Let's take that this way, just touch up the bandages real quick on the back of the head, where I just nicked it just now. Tarnished Brass 09198. No, it's still outside, so it sounds like it's going to be a good one. So I'll just wrap this up real quick before it hits. Nozzle, reinforcement band, button, strap. Now I'm just gonna, I'm gonna take that pure black again and just go ahead and get the underside of the thruster there. And tossing my brush around. Misty Gray 09090. And I'm dropping hundreds of frames a second. Son of a... Okay, the joys of technical difficulty strike again. Misty Gray 09090. This will be the last highlight. Yeah, my system decided to start dropping hundreds of frames a second again. I have yet to figure out why it's doing that or how to stop it. So, lightly just highlighting the basing here. And the last step now is to take a flathead and some more pure black, which again is 09037. And just carefully line the base, trying not to hit the basing material I've got here. And if you're using flock or talus or sand, talus being another word for rock debris, by the way, you would do that first, and you would do this step first, and then add that in later. I use a sculpting putty called epoxy sculpt and just fill in the gap in the base and put a little pattern in there. Get some texture. Okay. A little more right there. Clean out the brush. And there is the Firestarter. One more video for this box set, and I'll be continuing with Malifaux. Until next time, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.